Hi, this is Harish here. Welcome to DB2 LOW Tips and Tricks video tutorial part 164. In this video tutorial, the tip that I am going to provide you is there is no space saved by incremental backup of LOB objects. So if you have a database with a lot of LOB objects in it and you are taking a backup and particularly incremental backup, even if you have the track mode on setting, the incremental backup images are not tracked at an individual level, so there won't be much space saved in terms of the backup images, backup image size, I mean. So the free, the scripts that I'm using, the data files that I'm using are available for free at db2lewacademy.blogspot.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/db2lewacademy. This is the problem scenario page. So there is no space saved by incremental backup of LOB objects. So the table spaces which are having the CLOB or BLOB, even some long object types are there, long varchar, like that. So those are not tracked incrementally. So for example, when we take an incremental backup, like full backup versus incremental backup image size, when we talk about that, we usually say like the incremental will have only the changed pages which are from the previous full backup, which is different. So it's going to bundle up lesser number of pages because of the number of changes only it is backing up. And then the backup image size of the incremental backup copy should be somewhat lesser. That is the expectation, general expectation, and it is actually, that's the way it is. But the only exception to this is the table spaces with LOB objects. So if you have tables with LOB objects, they are not tracked incrementally. So the incremental image will include the full LOB objects rather than like, you know, the incremental thing, because it's not tracked like that. So the backup pages or full pages are not incremental. There is no space savings. I was really surprised to know about this. How about you? So let me know in the comments. Okay. I don't know how to come out of this now. Okay. So actually, there is a DB2 Red book which I was browsing through, and I got these Red books for maximizing the DB2 performance, for the backup performance. Thanks to this author, this is the page where I find that information. An incremental backup includes only pages that were included from the last backup, and the page header is scanned to determine whether it belongs to the backup, and the delta backup include all pages. That's what they are saying. Actually, you can have a good reading of this. Okay, so as usual, so let's go to an example. So I have here connected to the, so I have started the instance, I have connected to the database, and I will create the table. So I'll connect to the database, I'll create the table in user space 1. It is having a comments column of CLOB type. Okay, so let's go there. Okay, so the table is created. Now what I'm going to do is update the track mode on. I'm just setting for the transaction log full, like I should not get the error, and connect reset. And I'm also taking a backup. So everything I'll do like in one go like that. Okay, so let's look at the backup size. The backup size will be like about 137 MB, 140 MB, like that. So it's a full backup. So just now we are running it. So you can see that it's 138 MB. So that's the backup image size. It doesn't contain anything actually as of now, right? Like it's just created the table. That's all. For that it's still 137 MB. Now I'm going to connect to the database, and I'm going to import a particular file, like okay, so I'm going to connect to the database, import the tclob.del. We created the CLOB data, right? So it's like having 10 records, and each of the records, like 10 records, has CLOB of about roughly 100 MB, we can say. So there will be a total of 1 GB. So when I do this import, and once the import completes, when I take a full backup, I should see like, see already my backup image is 138. I'm again going to take a full backup. I have added 1 GB. So it should be around 1.4 GB. It is actually 1.4 GB. It should be like 1 GB, like that. Okay, so we have added 1 GB of data. Okay, so let me connect reset and take a full backup of that. So the expected size is 1.4 GB, which I have done the test case like so many times. So okay, So this is again a full backup. So we are not yet doing incremental backups. So the incremental backup will take the different pages from the full backup, right? So now let us look at our size. So you can see the backup is 1.4 GB because I added 1 GB of data. 1.4 GB is acceptable, which is full backup, okay, which is no issues, okay. Now here's the question, like when I connect here, I have already taken a full backup, right? Now I'm going to connect and I'm going to run the same import twice. So I'm adding 2 GB of data, right? So let me just do that, okay. So if I add 2 GB of data, already my backup size is 1.4 GB. So if I add 2 GB, it becomes 3.4, 3.5. Roughly we can say 4 GB is expected. So which is like what you see. So the backup command is there and the roughly 4 GB is expected. So far I am taking only full backups, okay. So let us run this, okay. It will take some time. So it's going to import those many records, so 10 records, and each of those LOB, it is a tclob.del and it has an LOB file associated with it, which is about 100 MB. So let's see, okay. Okay, in the meantime, I'll also tell this one. So you have the same example with like you can try the import with 1gb.del and like this. So because when you do this, you will find the incremental backup images is very less. Like it actually it will be only 1 GB, right? When you say like for example, the total backup size is 4 GB. I import 1 GB. Then if I take incremental backup, it will only be 1 GB. That's the expectation, and it will be like that if you use this 1gb.del and insert into staff table. Okay, so the staff table I have given the script. So I'm not running that right now because the video also will be lengthier. So let's see. Okay, so everything the two things are done. So I'm going to take a new backup and connect reset, right? So I'll copy that and I'll so now the expected size is 4 GB, right? So I'll take another backup. So the expected, again, everything is full backup only so far. I'm just looking like how much of space it is there. So I have made the database size 4 GB by importing all these records, and every time I'm taking full backup only. Okay, so let's get this done. Okay. The backup is going to take a while because as my database size increases, right? So it's kind of increasing. So that's the problem. We have to wait a bit longer. Okay. Still not done yet. It is applicable for the table space backup as well, I guess. So so I'll just run it. So you can see now it is 3.9 GB, right? So the database is having 3.9 GB and I have taken like full backup. Now this is the tricky part. So I'm going to add only 1.5 1 GB like that here, right? So I'm going to connect to this. I'm going to connect to the database. I'm going to import. So I'm only adding 1.4 GB on top of 4 GB. Correct. So which means if I take an incremental backup, I should get only 1.4 GB of a database backup image if it is an incremental backup. Correct. But even though it is an incremental backup, it will have instead of 1.5, it will be like 5 GB because it's already 4 GB and one more GB I have added. So roughly around 5.5 GB I'll get even though it is an incremental backup. That's the weird thing. So is done. So the load processing, everything is done. Okay. And I'm going to do connect reset and take the incremental backup. This is the thing that I was telling you. So when I connect reset and I take an incremental, this is the first incremental backup image I'm taking. The previous full backup was, the size was 3.9 GB. So when it takes the incremental, it should take only 1.4 GB or 1 GB because I have added only 1 GB of records. But that 1 GB is full of CLOB data. That's the point. So if it was like a normal table, regular table, like that's what I have shown you in this scenario. If it is a regular table like a staff table, when you take this, when you do this, you will have the expected size of 1.4 GB as the incremental backup image. When you use CLOB data, you will see the observed size as 5 GB. That is what I am trying to say here. Let's look at this, and I can also confirm that using the db2 check backup command. It's an incremental backup image. So I mean, that's how it is. I have done this case, so that's how it is. So this is just one. I just wanted to give you a demo of it. That's it. So we'll wait for some more time. Okay, it's taking a bit of time. I mean, this itself is an indication that it is backing up huge amount of data instead of 1.4 GB. So that itself is that itself tells us, right, indirectly, right? So we'll see the file size. So once the incremental backup is done, yep, it's done. So ls-lh. So you can see, okay, sorry, ls-lh. Okay, so you can see that it's 5.1 GB. So from a full backup of 4 GB, if I take an incremental backup, why I'm getting that? So if I say db2 ckbkp hyphen uppercase h, and I will give this this one, okay. So you will see that it is an incremental backup. See, it's a database level incremental backup image, but its size is 5.1 GB. That's the whole idea. That's the whole point. Hope this information was useful to you. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel youtube.com/db2low academy. See you in the next video tutorial. Until then, bye bye.